How about some Thursday night football for you? The Borah Lions rolled into last night's game with a 5-game winning streak, hosting Skyview. Here's the thing, the Hawks jumped out to a 28-0 lead. Again, getting close to the action. Bradley Toth scores a touchdown there, but Skyview just had way too many answers. Max Cutforth looking cool, calm in the pocket, hits Mason Cron for the touchdown. Later on, Cutforth again goes back to the air. Tyreek Pennington played like a freaking man last night. Great after the catch, as you can see right here. He scores yet another touchdown. How about this score? Skyview, 41-14 the final. We caught up with their coach tonight.
Coach Dave Young, we appreciate you joining us tonight on Friday Night Football. Man, last night you guys were able to handle one of the hottest teams in the state. Borah comes in on a 5-game winning streak, but you guys were able to control that thing from kickoff. How were you able to quiet the Lions last night?
Well, we respect their game and what they're able to do. Their defense flew around. We had a lot of respect for their running game, but ultimately it came down to us. We were on a 4-game losing skid, being in the toughest pod in the state of Idaho, having to take on Eagle and Rocky Mountain and Timberline, and losing those 4 games in a row was rough. And so we just had to focus on us. And we wanted to play physical football. We wanted to play good defense and good offense. We didn't want to shoot ourselves in the foot. We'd been doing that quite a bit the last few weeks and limit the penalties on certain drives. And so we just focused on us all week and just we were looking forward. The season was over. The 4-4 was over, and it was all about going 1-0.
You guys certainly checked the boxes then on everything you wanted to accomplish last night. Up 28-0 at halftime, 5 first-half turnovers that you guys were able to force. It really did seem like your boys were playing some inspired football last night, though. What was the reason behind that?
Well, I think ultimately, we're a senior-driven team, and I don't think they wanted to be denied. I don't think they wanted their season to be over because we had to win to get in, and if we lost, we were going home. And this senior class is a strong group that's been together for a while, and I think ultimately they just made up their minds. They were going to play as physical and as tough as possible to get in.
Whether it be Pennington, Fafita, Max Cutforth, who you get back next year is only a junior. All those guys seem to be playing at a pretty high level right now. You mentioned the 4-game losing streak. Given the competition you were facing, how much were you guys able to still kind of learn the standard of what it would take to compete in these mid to late October playoff style games?
Well, that's I think you just kind of, hit it on the head right there. Our first 4 games were great opening games, a couple 4A opponents, a couple of other 5A opponents in Boise and Owyhee. But then when we hit that streak between Rocky to Meridian to Eagle to Timberline, you find out who you really are when you're facing adversity. And we found out a lot of things, and they weren't all pleasant. We had to work through some things. We had to kind of look in the mirror as coaches and as kids. And ultimately, I think that propelled us, so we were prepared to play a new opponent and especially with a lot on the line. And our kids just ate it up. They were excited.
We've seen so many 4A teams bump up to 5A. That last season in 4A, they try to take everything they can get while they can. Next year, you guys go from 5A back to 4A. But how much do you kind of want to prove what this team can do against the biggest schools, the best competition that the state of Idaho has to offer?
That is definitely a chip on our shoulder, one of our driving forces, being in the 5A level for the last 4 years, including this season, and qualifying for the playoffs 3 out of those 4 years is a big deal. We've got right at about 1,230 students in our school. We have 75 total football players in our football program. We're built closer to some of the 3A schools like Homedale in terms of numbers than we are the Rocky Mountains of the world. And so we don't worry about what's fair, what's equal. You play the cards that are dealt to you. And that's the one thing I just love about my school and about our boys is they're just feisty and nitty gritty and they just want to play. And our kids get to play a ton. Our kids play both sides of the ball and they have a lot of opportunity and they take it.
As you mentioned earlier, win and you're in. You guys controlled your own destiny. You took care of business. So what is next? And I got to say, good on you guys for not having to play in tonight's weather. You got it out of the way last night when it was still relatively one of those fall evenings here in Boise that you can enjoy. So what is next for your group of boys as the playoffs now approach for you?
Well, last night, 70 degrees. I wish I packed my shorts, but I didn't. Looks like we're heading east. We should be the 6th seed coming out of the West. And so we'll head east to play, I think, Highland, but Highland and Idle Falls play tonight. So if Highland wins, they're the number 2, and we'll go play Highland. If Idle Falls beats them, there's a 3-way tie. We might have to wait till Monday. I'm not sure if they have a Aussie rules tiebreaker or Kansas City tiebreakers. So I'm getting ready to watch that game on the network here pretty quick and eat a little pizza and hang out with a couple of my coaches and my wife and just enjoy the night.
You know, Coach Young, seriously impressive what you guys have been able to do over there. You mentioned your numbers. They're about half the size of some of the schools that you've been competing against this year. Really impressive that you've been able to make it to the postseason 3 out of the last 4 years playing. Well above, not your punching weight, but at least where you should be, because you guys do provide one heck of a punch. But congrats on your successes this season as well as into the postseason.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, that's one of the beauty things of high school football. As long as you have 11 guys on the field, you have a chance. You're going to play the game and you have a chance, and we'll take it every Friday. Thanks for having me.
Man, Coach Young continues to get it done. They are going to be so good when they drop down to the 4A classification next year. Going to be pretty fun to watch. Hey,